I just finished writing this and I really want to read it out. And I thought I could just put this on YouTube because it's going to be too long for anything else. This is one of my art meditations. I just finished it. You can tell it's actually like a part two, but the first part, I almost always kind of have to start clearing out my own baggage of the moment first. So a lot of times it's the second or third movement, we'll say, even though that evokes gastric distress. But it's usually the second or third movement that I find the most intriguing. Also, no one can read cursive, so you get to be punished by that. I'm trying to keep it alive just on some level, even if it's, and maybe especially because my hand is disintegrating. So it's really easy to read picture book cursive, and it's really hard to read it when it looks like spiders in a blender. So, anyway, either way, it gives me delight. So, here we go. Oh, my love, we had to stop reading the news. The cat had come for his daily love, and he hates having his fur unduly wetted. So I close my eyes and wonder about the energy of Kali versus other animations of the divine went whoosh. This coupling of imagination and my relentless stalking of these moments that dissolve me in loving become my cultivated madness, and I grow ecstatic. On the way to perceive this heartbeat and balance bliss against this relentless agony. And like the purr of the cat, I am pushed over into this delight where the wild joy I take in how this one stylus and a ribbon of light, like the clay tablet and a wedge, are connecting the bliss inside my naked desolation to you. All of this may be madness, but it saves my life by balancing my perception of this thought, of this overwhelming amount of information. My nervous system is howling among itself. Every neuron is saying something at volume. At this point, using language and art as a vehicle, I can change the message from agony to ecstasy. It makes the space between 10 and dead on some bullshit pain scale, like infinity having to grow larger to accommodate more fucking fractions. Oh, math, fun in theory, until the numbers betray me. Dyslexia, you make absolutely black and white into something unreliable. And with that image, I am poetry dancing in my love for the art. And no one seems able to bear the end result. My mother burning it all, father denying it completely, my ex asking me to change my name, friends who cannot offer a like or follow, who love the artist but not the art, who were so glad to see me stop trying and failing, who love me but who do not see me. But here I am, functioning as alone as I ever have been, utterly independent from the external gaze in how I cope with my naked desperation. And I am joy every second I can steal from agony. without being judged for passing by outing myself with what is the closest I get to masochism levels of compulsion for chronic illness and constant pain that leaves me unable to work at anything of value. My last lover laughed at the rapture and enthusiasm I show when I make art. Oh, the oohs and the ahs and my giddy delight. You, he'd laugh. You only talk about yourself. Or wait, was that my former best friend? If your art were any good, then it would sell itself. You would not have to do all this. Even then, my Twitter feed was a farce. That was definitely the ex. I hear his voice. That ended relationships. To have someone whose art I loved, who initially lavished praise on it, come to see it as lacking, and me as mad because I was leveraging what I love. No, that I love with such intensity that this moment's fucking disaster is boring to me. I am already looking for something to keep this thread of distraction going, and instead of anything lucrative, I turn to the joy I find in laying bare my flow, letting words flow as I can with as little effort as possible, frictionless. That so far I have failed to touch enough people to be out of this suffering. How funny. I still cling to the idea people can love me like this enough to value my existence. Now, at this moment of utter uselessness and peak desperation, when my act of revolution is cultivating the madness that as much as his God hated me and wanted me to be wretched and alone just as I am, I can close my eyes and fall into an ocean of love. Feel the warmth of embrace and flow in letter and line. At peace inside this tsunami of sensation, utterly alone, but for this mark making. Because a bit of luck made me feel at home within this body. Everyone else dismisses or despises due to its condition or size. And I fall into the delight I feel when all of me aligns like this. Does not mean anyone else will ever see anything but insanity in my reverie. And that's okay. Because if it is, I am still such a lucky fool to have this endless reservoir of loving to offset the fucking bullshit of trauma, abuse, and living in this body, in this country today. For me, still a win, even if I have no money and cannot, at moment, stand up.